Hi, thank you for clicking this video. My story might change your view on having children. I was always that tomboy. I never played with dolls. I love cars and pistols. At least I tried to get them in pink. My friends were usually boys, but as a 20-something I knew I wanted to have children, but maximum 2. I was not in a rush. I studied until 27, then I decided I wanted to have a baby 1 or 2 years later. I finished my bachelor thesis and 2 days later I got severely sick. I suffered for 5 entire years because of the consequences of this disease. And when the right time arrived, I lost my menstrual cycle and didn't ovulate, so I could not get pregnant, obviously. Bad timing, I would say. In the beginning, I cried almost every day. I was in a lot of pain. My friends and the village people around me bought houses, built their careers, and had kids. All in all, they had a decent life. And I was sick. I had no money, no home at that time, no job, and I lived at my parents-in-law house. The only stable thing in my life that I had was my husband, which I was super grateful for. Long story short, my desire to have a child was unintentionally delayed by 5 years. I've noticed that women in their 20s overestimate their fertility and chances of having a child with a good partner, and women in their 30s underestimate their fertility. The video is not a call to have a child with the next best man. However, if you have a wonderful partner, it's a good time to reconsider your thoughts on having children earlier than you planned. I was already 34 when I gave birth to my first child. From a retro perspective, everything turned out to my good. I would not have the resilience during illness to have a child. The good thing about being an older mother is that I'm way more relaxed and wiser than I would be in my 20s. And if you're knowledgeable in the field of evolutionary psychology, you know what I mean. This is neither an encouragement to have children in your 30s nor your 20s. Both have advantages and disadvantages. Don't wait for the perfect moment. There will always be something in a different place than where you would like it to be. While studying under Dr. Lyle, I read the book Evolutionary Psychology by David Buss. I feared that my desire to have a child would decrease if I learned more about human nature. But the complete opposite was true. The more I learned about our human nature, the more I desired to have children. In my opinion, most fertile couples are not educated about this topic. Women think they first need a career, otherwise they'll never be able to have a career after having children. Back then, I felt so much pressure and was afraid nobody would hire me when I'm a mother. I was not informed at all about my chances of getting pregnant when I ovulate and so forth. Many things go wrong. One reason for this video is that I wish I had known more about having children. The thing is that you can have a career in your 40s and 50s as a woman, but you can't have children in your 50s when you're in menopause. So even if it might be easier to build a career in your 20s and 30s, you have to outweigh the costs and benefits and the possibilities like having a partner later, chances of getting pregnant, and so forth. Overpopulation is a total scam. At some point it will tip and then population will drastically decrease. Not having kids because of overpopulation is not a decent argument. This is not today's topic, but important for me to mention. Chris Williamson interviewed Stephen J. Shaw, a data scientist and filmmaker, on this topic. Over the last 7 years, Shaw has visited 24 countries and analyzed millions of data to determine what is happening with global birth rates and predict the Earth's future population. The answer is surprisingly. I highly recommend watching this video. I linked it in the show notes. I'm well informed that some women don't want to have children, and that's totally okay. You don't need children to have a good and fulfilled life. So my message today is not that it's the only purpose for a woman. Not at all. You are way more than only a mother. But we are biologically designed to have children. And therefore, many of us women desire to have at least one child. But due to the modern world, in many cases, it's too late, or the women did not find a right partner. You only know how many children you really desire if you have at least one. If you have none, you don't know how it feels to raise one. Who knows? You may enjoy it a lot. I'm a living example. As a young adult, I always thought 1 to 2 children was enough, but boy, I could have a Boeing full of children. I'm aware that regretting motherhood is a hot topic nowadays, and it's true. Some women thought they had to have a child or thought it would be better than it was in real life. I'm not denying that at all. No matter what you decide, I desire to create absolute transparency. Because couples are not educated enough about this topic, many would have made a different decision if they had been better informed. Because the more information you have about a subject, the easier it is to make a decision you won't regret. Being a mother is physically the most challenging job I've ever done, but the most rewarding one. Having a child fills my life with so much joy. That doesn't mean I have no challenges. I do, but overall the benefits for me outweigh the costs. Actually, my husband is super impressed that I have all the power and resilience to care for our child. Don't underestimate your instincts to care for a baby. If you're afraid that your body might change, I'll do another video on that in the future. There is a reason people decide to have more than one child. If it were that horrible, we would not have so many people on the planet. I heard the following quote, "I don't regret having children. I regret not having more." I've noticed that this topic is especially a thing for high IQ, super smart women. They know that the costs might be too high for them to raise a child. I read in the book Human Diversity that a study was raised with high IQ women. They had the opportunity to work in a high-paid job. They were raised to be free to decide what path they choose. They were even encouraged in their talents, yet they choose to be mothers. As much as society pushes women to become like men, women are different and have different desires. In my opinion, mothers are heroes, but unfortunately in Western society, being a homemaker and caring for their children and family is not valued enough. So there is a lot that needs to be changed, and change starts with you. Mother Teresa said that if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. I know firsthand that managing my career while I care for a baby is not the easiest thing, but keep in mind they grow so fast compared to the time you'll work. I know this topic is also super sensitive, and I feel you. I know how it feels not to be able to get pregnant when everybody else around you is. Maybe you don't have a partner yet, but your biological clock is ticking, or you have other health circumstances where you can't get pregnant. So my message to you is don't give up. Transparency is important for me, so therefore I'm not afraid to talk about hemorrhoids, gigantic boobs while breastfeeding, weight gain and weight loss, and many other topics around pregnancy and giving birth. But more on that in the future. If you might ask what the subject of this video has to do with weight loss, binging, and general health, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel and you'll learn more about it, and that it actually has a lot to do with your health when you're a female. I hope your local pharmacy doesn't run out of pregnancy tests after you might change your opinion. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!